Here at Freddie Mac Single Family, we have a straightforward approach to collateral. We're focused on buying loans that are supported by the most reliable and appropriate valuation options available, while maintaining appropriate levels of risk management and mitigating loss. To do that, we're constantly innovating, developing new valuation options and enhancing existing ones that are designed to promote more consistent outcomes and create process efficiencies that will help save time and lower costs in the appraisal process. We call this appraisal modernization. It's important work because while the industry as a whole has been rapidly developing and adopting technology, the appraisal process has remained relatively unchanged. Equally significant, the number of active appraisers has remained relatively constant over the past decade, leading to real capacity concerns for appraisers in certain markets and during busy times. Some of the modernization efforts include joint work with Fannie Mae. In a multi-year initiative, the GSEs are collaborating to update the UAD, the Uniform Appraisal Data Set, by retiring existing appraisal forms and redesigning the URAR, the Uniform Residential Appraisal Report Form. The UAD makeover is vital for appraisal modernization for two reasons. One, it includes an upgrade to the latest MISMO reference model. The current model is no longer being supported. And two, it creates a more data-driven process with a flexible, dynamic report format that will be better organized and populated based on property characteristics. This is a big step forward for a form that was originally designed for a typewriter. The rest of our modernization work is done independently, and it has allowed us to develop a spectrum of valuation options that focus on the important role for appraisers, aimed at helping to alleviate capacity concerns, bifurcating or componentizing parts of the process, the data collection and research, independent from the inspection, like the property visit and field work, and the analysis and the development of the report by the appraiser. By doing this, it enables the appraiser to focus on more complex properties and assignments, and when they focus on the points of the report where they really add value. So let's look at the spectrum of collateral valuation options to see how they work and what might make sense. Start with the appraisal waiver. The ACE automated collateral evaluation offering starts with the submission of an estimated value or sales price to our automated underwriting system, LPA, Loan Product Advisor. ACE then determines if the submitted value is acceptable to underwrite the loan by leveraging proprietary models, historical data, and public records to help assess condition and marketability risks for the property. If ACE determines the risk is acceptable, you can originate the loan without an appraisal. With ACE, you can close faster and save borrowers money. On average, it's generally 7 to 10 days faster, and saving on average $500 on the appraisal fee. If the loan isn't eligible for ACE, it might be eligible for ACE plus PDR. So what's PDR? PDR stands for Property Data Report. It's a report that collects and contains additional property information. This information is collected on site by a trained property inspector that doesn't need to be an appraiser. The PDR gives us collectively more information about the condition of the property, and it allows you to still be able to originate a loan without an appraisal. This is a new offering, but with non-appraisers completing the PDR, it can help alleviate capacity concerns and potentially save time. The next option is the hybrid appraisal. We're currently testing this option, so it's not broadly available. But the idea is if during the collection of the PDR, certain property characteristics or conditions arise that keep the property from being eligible for ACE plus PDR, you don't need to go back to the drawing board with a full traditional appraisal. Instead, the good news is the appraiser could use the PDR to complete the assignment. This is a pretty specific test and learn currently, but we'll continue to test other ways to leverage this option. By breaking up the process and not requiring appraisers to go on site, we believe there's another opportunity to address capacity and possibly shorten turn times. The next option is the desktop appraisal. The desktop was originally introduced in 2020 in response to social distancing concerns from COVID-19. While the COVID flexibilities have been retired, the desktop offering has emerged as a permanent guide offering. Desktop lets the appraiser use available data to complete the appraisal report. This is an option currently for purchase transactions. The strategy and the thinking here was that there's generally a tremendous amount of reliable information available to appraisers online, including a building sketch, property detail, and possibly a floor plan. The benefit of not going on site during the pandemic was obvious, but anytime an appraiser does not have to go on site, it can present a chance to save time. And finally, at the other end of the spectrum is the traditional interior-exterior inspection form, the 1004 Form 70 appraisal. And honestly, when there are specific challenges to obtaining data or property characteristics that require an appraiser to assess them firsthand, this remains our best option. So there you have it. When it comes to evaluating collateral, you do have options. Properties and the amount of information available for them will, of course, differ. Ultimately, those differences will determine the best path. The important thing is that you're making loans and that we're buying loans. And while using the most reliable, appropriate valuation method, it's one that brings the efficiency of the process while not introducing additional risk. Thank you for your time today and your kind attention. For more information about our collateral options, as well as timely, relevant information about what's happening with collateral and appraisals at Freddie Mac, please visit our website.